Hello and welcome to another episode of DC Figures and Collectibles. I am Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host coming all the way from Stoke-on-Trent, England. You can find him on Instagram at the.batfan. His name is Scott. Scott, how you doing?
Hello, Tyler. Hello to everybody listening, and hope you're doing good. And I'm well, thanks. How are you, Tyler? You all good?
I am doing well. I'm feeling the drought of no new figures as of yet, but I'm doing well. I'm keeping busy shooting new stuff. Or not new stuff, but old stuff. How are you doing in action figure wise?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a quiet week. The only thing I've got new is the amazing Jack Nicholson Joker head. I got to say an absolutely enormous thank you to good friend Vincent, who is at vinfaith_custom on Instagram. You can check him out. His page is amazing. He does his own pictures and he also customizes numerous figures. And I noticed that he painted a Joker head before, so the Joker head I picked up on eBay. I posted over to him and he very kindly put his amazing paint job over the top of that head, which is just fantastic, and enjoyed taking pictures of it. But other than that, that was it for me this week for new stuff. Have you got any new figures?
No, but we can't just be all cavalier about just glossing over the shot that you posted and about the figure itself. Is first of all, I feel like every true Batman fan would love if there was a mass-produced Jack Nicholson Joker figure. So the fact that you have one is pretty sick, and it's a great looking, very high class figure because it's on a Mezco body with the cloth soft goods, and it's the Joker body, so it's not like it's any random weird body. So it fits and looks great. And the paint job, you did a really good job. Like, what do you think? You have it in person, so what would you say overall? Like how the sculpt and everything looks as well.
Yeah, it's amazing the job that he did on that figure, and the details on it is what's incredible to me. So I don't get how people do it. The detail of sort of the eyes and the mouth and the sort of lines around his hair, it's absolutely incredible. It really is, and fantastic job, and it just looks so amazingly like Jack Nicholson. It's just staggering to me, and yeah, I don't know how these painters do it because it's a truly amazing job.
I really hope that you do a lot more photos with this figure.
Yes, definitely will be a couple more. I've taken another one, which I'm going to upload at some point this weekend, and then yeah, there'll definitely be some more to come.
I even love the little. It looks so much more real just because of the detail, even of like the chair he's sitting in. That looks like a real chair.
Yeah, I was from a Mattel Wrestling Accessories.
Really?
Thing, yeah. So and that was a pretty cool find. I got it on. I got it online a couple of years ago now. But yeah, really good chair that, and the table in front of it is the Arkham Origins like TV screen chair that was made by Triforce.
And of course, the Mezco chattering teeth accessory.
Yeah, I had to put that in there. And I nicked the Figure Arts Injustice Joker gun because it's got the long gun barrel just like the 89 movie.
Yeah, extremely long. Fits in perfectly though for that Joker.
It does, yeah. I mean, as soon as I was getting the Joker sorted, I was like, right, he needs to have a long gun now. I thought, hang on a minute, I've got an SH Figure Arts one here that will do just nicely for that. Had to get that in there, and yeah, the whole Joker body fits perfectly for him as well. It's not like he looks out of place with it or doesn't fit quite right. It's just absolutely perfect, and
well, also that Burton Joker, he wears a bunch of different purple suits. He doesn't wear just one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I'm really tempted to pick up the Clown Prince of Crime Mezco Joker now to use the head on. I'm really tempted.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm so tempted.
If only you could get the deluxe.
Yeah, that deluxe Joker would be outstandingly cool. I saw that on eBay for about £300, which is just way out of my budget, unfortunately, but it does look freaking awesome.
If I ever get a spare 300, I might have to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Although I don't see that coming anytime soon. But you also had a fantastic, I would say, conclusion to a 2-part series of weekend themes with the DC universe.
Yes.
You did a series of 5 pictures, or actually 10 if you include the first part.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. There's one that you did that it's the picture of Bruce walking away from the ruins, and we talked about it in previous podcasts that's an actual castle in the background.
Yes.
And so it actually fits perfect with that shot. It looks great. And you even asked the groundskeepers to cut the grass at the right level, so that's even more impressive.
Yeah, it was massively, well, not only inspired by what you said, but also massively inspired by the scene in Batman v Superman when he's walking along the grass of Wayne Manor in the background. That scene was just amazing to me. The visuals that Schneider does in his movie is just absolutely outstanding, and that's one of them.
Yeah, it looks just like the scene. Looks like the groundskeepers knew what level of grass you needed.
Yeah, it was. I took that at like sunset time, so we had a nice like orange tinge on the manor, if you like, in the background. And I took a couple of pictures that day. And I got one more to upload of a different figure, of the Nightmare figure. But
I think it's perfect.
Yeah. It's lovely. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, to go up there. I mean, I've said to you before, if you ever come over to England, then we've got to go there. You'd love it. You'd absolutely love it there. It's just such a staggeringly beautiful place among such a shithole of a country at the minute, England. So it's a beautiful place. It really is. It's just so photogenic, and figures fit perfectly with it, and it's just fantastic. You could take all kinds of. I've taken this Bruce Wayne there. I've taken the Mafex Bruce Wayne. Sorry, the Mafex Dark Knight figure. Taking the Nightmare figure there. Taking the Survival Suit DC Collectibles figure, the Justice League figures I've taken there before, the animated ones. Just so cool, and there's so many different ways you can capture that castle. And yeah, we're definitely heading straight to there.
Well, especially with just the way you said that you got the lighting on the right time of day, it makes it look like a whole different place from just the previous picture you've taken of it with that orange glow.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
It's such a staggering location, it really is. And to the right hand side of the pictures you're looking at, there's like a whole rock area as well. So, so cool. Yeah, it's just a shame you can't get inside the castle. If you could get inside there, it'd be an amazing sort of, I don't know, Dark Knight first cave discovery picture. That would be really cool. You could do with it. But yeah, it's a lovely location. Really, it's one of my favorite places to go and take pictures. And
if only you could sneak in.
I know. I'd have to take some. We'll have to go there with some lock cutters one day. Yeah, I'll have to do that. That sounds good.
And talking of great pictures, there's one that looks almost straight up cinematic, almost like it's live action. And it's when you have the complete Justice League team standing on looks like a mossy area, and that even adds to the picture. It looks almost just like the ending of Justice League, especially with the plant life.
Yeah, that. So talking about favourite places to photograph, this is my favourite place to photograph, which is a place called Nippersley Reservoir. It's beautiful. It really is. And there's so many, the place is huge. Obviously, you've got a massive lake there. There's a waterfall that you can walk up to. And this bit is literally taken on the footpath. There was a wooden beam running along the side. I was like, that is the perfect Justice League movie ending picture sort of location that I can use, because it just looks overgrown, which is obviously what happens at the end of the film. Love it or hate it, that's what happens. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to do a league shot, but I didn't want to do another boring shot in front of a computer screen, so I wanted to take them all out and go somewhere and do a picture of them, but change things up a little bit. I changed the order they're standing in.
I like that better.
Yeah, I put Wonder Woman's coat on as well, and Batman's goggles are on and stuff like that. Just little different details. Decided to change it because I've already done a picture of them all standing up like that outdoors before, so I wanted to just do a little bit different.
The trees are even framing it nicely.
Yeah, the trees in the background were a definite deliberate thing. I wanted to get a gap in the middle as well, like a slight sunbeam gap. It didn't quite come off as I'd hoped, but something like that was what I wanted to do.
I think it turned out great. Like I said, it looks like almost like another shot that Snyder posted that didn't make the film.
Oh, that's super kind, man. Thank you. Yeah, I just hope we get to see his original vision one day, but we've been over that many times.
Yeah. Well, then you did also, I say, a Batman collection flex shot of where it shows every version of the Batman,
like
the Ben Affleck, and it's a brilliant shot. I absolutely love it, and it shows it shows different versions. It shows 3 Mezco, but it also shows 2 Mayfex, I believe.
Yeah, 2 Mayfex. They got the Armored and the Bruce Wayne.
And they fit in quite nice with the Mezco. It doesn't look like any drop off in quality or anything.
No, definitely not. I love that Armored. I'd love to get the Mezco Armored Batman one day, but I think that's just going to be impossible. And
that's like a
Mayfex
whole figure.
Honestly, it is. It's like more than Hot Toy figures, that one. And yeah, to be honest though, I think perhaps the Mayfex one's slightly better. The cape's probably going to be better on that one because the cape on the Mezco is too big. And also you can have the ability to switch heads out, which is great because I love that battle damaged head. And it's up there with the one that you got with the Beast Kingdom as well. That's a fantastic one. And yeah, really cool figure.
Definitely have both.
Yeah, I do love that Beast Kingdom one. It looks so cool.
I don't have the Mezco version, and those 3 look absolutely magnificent as far as Batman figures are concerned. And then I think that you hinted at. Well, I know you hinted at it, but we had no idea what you're talking about because you said you're looking forward to getting the Batman figure that is Dick Grayson as Batman. And you said you wanted the head sculpt very badly for a particular shot because you don't think anyone thought of it yet. And I think that you are 100% correct. And the idea is brilliant. And it just, it even changed the whole way I look at the Dick Grayson head now because now I think they purposely made it look like the actor. And it's a picture that you had from one of the first episodes of Titans where Raven is talking with Dick Grayson about her dream that she saw of the Flying Graysons. So how long have you had this and how long have you been waiting to post this?
A long time. I'm not going to lie. And I've always wanted to do a picture though. As soon as that Dick Grayson Batman came out and I saw it at the alternate head, I got excited. So I wanted to do that for a long time. I've been searching for the Dick Grayson Batman for a long time as well because I love that alternate head that he comes with. So yeah, I wanted to do that for a while, and I also picked out the Gordon Diamond Selects Gotham body as well. I picked that out a while ago, and just playing a waiting game until get it. I have done another picture of it, but I don't think a lot of people got what it was, but it's still good fun to do. I really. That shot took ages. I think that shot took over an hour to do just because I couldn't get the right backdrop, then I couldn't get the angle right. Tried so many different ways, and just that one. In the end, I was just like, I can't be bothered anymore. That'll do.
No, I definitely understand that because you want to capture the right atmosphere, the right color, and everything. And it probably took a while just to find that background alone, and then trying to make sure that it's like good quality and all that. So
yeah, it was tricky for sure. And then deciding the accessories to put on the table as well.
It's
a pain, but.
It's simple but perfect because that's what Phil like. What you get? You might get a drink and a piece of paper. That's it. They want you to stay focused on answering questions. No, I think you've had a very fun week, and I even love the fact that you busted out the Black Manta figure and had a cool water action shot.
Well, we mentioned that last week, and that was the picture that you inspired. To be honest, like the sort of angle that you love to take pictures at, where it shows the whole scene off, not just the figure. Because I have a habit of taking a lot of low angled shots, so I wanted to put the angle up a little bit higher to show off the scene that he's in. And that shot I deleted a while ago, and I wasn't going to use, and decided I'm just going to throw it in because it's just something different to what I usually do, whether it's good or bad. It's just something different.
I love it, especially even love the orange color. Did you put a light in there, or is that just the natural color?
No, that's the natural colour of the pipes. So that's like a, if I can explain, I've done pictures in front of the Aquaman, the waterfall with the Aquaman before, and there's a little bridge that goes to the side of it, and then a little sort of pipe, and the water gushes out of there. And I put Black Manta on there. He got soaked in water, and it was like, it's all right. So yeah, that was good fun. That's another place we're definitely going to one day. It's so awesome, honestly. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I think that you couldn't have picked a better figure to go with the color of that pipe.
Yeah, it just brings out the
laser eyes.
yeah, that kind of thing, exactly. Yeah, but that Black Manta figure is just amazing. He's one of the best figures ever.
I saw someone comment that.
Yeah, he is still just incredible. I think it's hard to argue that I mean, the Batwoman is amazing, the Red Robin's amazing, but I think still the Black Manta is just something else. I mean, I'm not even going to bother getting the Mafex one because this one's just too damn good.
I was just about to say, I saw the Mafex one, saw people posting it, and I was just like, I got the Mattel one. That looks just as good.
Exactly. I mean, it looks freaking amazing. Don't get me wrong. The Mafex one is just unbelievable, but this one, I can't see how the Mafex one would be. I can see how it'd be better, but worth the money. Not quite convinced of that.
I feel like the only thing they really got different, because they didn't show like an alternate head sculpt of the actor. I mean, that would be cool, but
that'd be amazing. Yeah, good shout.
They only showed off like they got a little flame effects that you could put in his rocket boosters or his feet boosters. It's okay. I could put that on with Photoshop or anything else.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth $100 to get that versus Mattel.
Yeah, I think had the Mattel figure not existed, it'd be a must buy. But the fact that it does, I don't think it kind of matters, does it? Either one you're going to get an amazing Black Manta figure.
Yeah, and that's a shout out to Mattel for actually doing a really good figure that could compete.
Oh yeah, good God, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
for once,
I think I paid about £30 for that. I'd have to pay like £90 for the sort of Mafex one, so I can't see that being worth it.
No, that would not be fun. Are there any figures that you have on order that you're eyeing that are coming up that you're looking forward to getting?
Not really, if I'm totally honest. No, I mean,
other than the turtles.
The turtles are the only thing I'm kind of waiting for. To be honest, and just waiting for that Freeze, Ivy, Bane, and Croc animated line to come out relatively soon. I think it's out in maybe a month or so. 2 months, something like that. So that should be good. But other than that, there's not a lot really looking forward to. Oh, actually, the Red Hood, the Essentials Red Hood, he's coming out in about a week.
Oh yeah, when are you getting hit? Oh, okay, a week or two.
I think 7th of October. So that is
just in time for when the turtles are coming out.
Yeah, that's almost 10 days on the nose. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely going to be getting that figure straight away. But,
I really look forward to that Batwoman. And the Alfred.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking forward to every one of them, to be honest. Besides the
yeah, Alfred's going to be so cool. But so you waiting on any new plastic then?
I mean, I'm really just waiting on those turtles, to be honest. I'm looking forward to getting that version of Batgirl and that version of Alfred, just because I continue to grow every day more in love with the Batman and the Robin figure. I know that you got them recently, and how hard is it not to photograph them?
It is difficult. It is difficult. I always try and stagger my posts out a little bit, but I've done quite a few of these lately, and
because just looking at them on your shelf, they look okay, man. They look beautiful there, and it's not even with like a pose. You're just like, okay, this looks beautiful sitting there.
Yeah, they're just not even doing anything, but they just look just amazing, don't they? They just capture everything so nicely. And I've even moved all the BTS figures aside and put them straight in the middle now of the shelf. So they look so cool, don't they? I think they're one of the most photogenic Batman and Robin figures that you're ever likely to get. I think probably on par with the original animated series for how much fun they are to picture.
Oh yeah, and I hope that I'm sure it will be. The other ones will be just as photogenic. So that's why I'm itching just to get those. But I still have been going to the store occasionally, uh,
Yeah.
hunting, hoping to see anything new. Maybe like a secret wave there. They released the Black Canary, but I don't think we'll see
Nothing.
that.
Nothing doing so far.
No, I'm seeing a lot of targets, really old multiverse figures.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to get those at a good price and not scalp, you could hit up Target. Other than that, I'm seeing a lot of old stuff.
Ah.
No Alfreds though. Everyone's still getting Alfred. I did see
uh,
that if you are tired of hunting, that Big Bad Toy Store finally got the complete 80th anniversary wave. So if you
okay.
don't want to hunt for Alfred and you just want to order the figures at the correct price, you could go to Big Bad Toy Store and just knock out that wave.
Yeah. Still no sign of that Riddler.
No sign of that Riddler. It disappeared.
Mm.
Even though it
He
looked
is,
like the perfect comic Riddler.
yeah, he is the greatest Riddler of all, you could say.
That is. Well, someday we'll figure it out, but maybe not now. Maybe when Jason's allowed to talk in 3 years about it, we'll have him on and talk about it.
Well, we're talking to Jason, and I wanted to mention a couple of multiverse shots that you've done this week. So you did one of the amazing Dick Grayson picture that you did yesterday, which is a fantastic picture. We mentioned about the Dick Grayson head earlier. That's such a cool picture, and the Robin and Nightwing in the background as well looks fantastic. But the main one that I really wanted to talk about is the Penguin picture that you did.
Ah, yeah, the signature one.
Yeah, because it's rare we get to see that figure. I underappreciate it, and everybody else does. But you came up with a brilliant shot of it.
Well, because I felt the same as you. I felt like a figure started off hot when everyone got it for a few days, and then all of a sudden everyone stopped taking photos of it, and like it was a bad figure. Like, okay, but it's such an underrated figure, and the fact that it's cloth and it's gonna be able to fit in with if you have the NECA '89 Batman, or if we ever get the Mezco one. The
Yeah,
fact that you took the time to make it look that nice and looks just like Danny DeVito.
it
I
really
was I
does.
was feeling like what you said. Like I was like, oh man, I don't take enough pictures of this. It's brilliant. And I even had been putting off doing it for a few days. I was like, oh, I could take another picture of the Batman and Turtles because they look great. But I was like, okay, I gotta force myself to do one. And so I saw this and was like, okay, I gotta do this. I
Yeah.
still have the penguins from back in the day, so got the rubber ducky. It's like I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah,
So I'm glad you like it.
yeah. I know it's an amazing shot, man. It really is, and yeah, massively enjoy the umbrella you've got as well. Where did you get that from?
Oh, that is that's just the umbrella that he came with. He's holding that, but what I did was I put a PNG of that umbrella over the top of it. So
Oh, no way.
that's actually Photoshop, yes.
It looks brilliant. You wouldn't tell. That's
I'm
fantastic.
glad. I thought everyone was gonna be able to tell.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
Yo, thank you. I'm glad that that penguin got some love. Hopefully, it inspires more shots because I love seeing it.
Yeah, I
Especially
definitely
when
want
the
to do a
figure
few more
fan
pictures
Nate
of him.
does one. Especially when you did one.
Yes. Yeah, Nate does some cracking pictures of that figure, I've got to say.
He does. So I'm hoping we see more.
Yeah, same, man, really, because it's a fantastic, fantastic sculpt. And how often would we ever get to see a figure of Danny DeVito Penguin? It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean we never have even gotten an '89 Joker, so the fact we got at least one of them from the Burton era, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's just crazy, isn't it? I didn't ever think we'd get figures of these. Never mind a DeVito Penguin. It's
Just
just amazing.
even when they did a Batman Forever figure, it doesn't look too much like Val Kilmer, and we saw that
Yeah, it's
the
true.
'89 version, and that's just like an homage to an older sculpt, which is not the best. So
It's so true that is, actually. It's a really good point, yeah. Because and some of the paint job's a bit too shiny on it. It looks a bit
yeah,
cheap. But the figures they're producing lately, or the last sort of wave, has been much, much better. It really has. Um, that
Thank
Red
goodness
Robin
they
is
finished
fantastic.
strong.
Yeah, I still haven't done any pictures of the Red Robin and Batwoman. Although Batwoman is actually in the picture I've just taken, funnily enough. So I'm going to upload that later, maybe. But we'll see.
I hope so, because I mean, also talking about photogenic figures, it's hard to take a bad picture. The Red Robin figure, it's almost impossible to take a bad picture. It's so cool looking.
Yeah, he looks so sick. You did a picture, and that got a huge reaction.
And it's just a portrait.
It's a beautiful photo, man. It really is. Absolutely beautiful. The pose that you've got on him, he just looks angry. I mean, the Robin suit that he wears reminds me of the Titans one with the short cape, and looks really cool.
Yeah, that's natural lighting, and I caught it at a time where I was like, okay, that almost looks real. So I just put in a background look real quick, put in a blue light. I was like, okay, I want to get mostly natural lighting, and it's hard to beat natural lighting. It always just looks good.
Yeah. Honestly, that's so true. It's actually so true. Talking of natural light, I wanted to mention about the flash picture that you did.
Okay.
With the Kid Flash and TV Flash. That was really cool. But are they standing up on their own?
Yes, thank goodness.
That's mad.
Yeah, the Kid Flash one wasn't too hard to do, but the Soap Studios one, that took forever. And even then, if you look at it, the belt is riding kind of high, and I just could not be bothered to try to fix it because I finally got him put.
Any collector would sympathize with that.
And that's the good thing too about having that Kid Flash is he's actually on the show with Barry Allen. So it's like, oh, okay, or this version of Flash is like, okay, so that could fit in nicely.
Yeah, definitely does.
And I really do love the figure. And if you're a football fan here in America, American football, it just reminds me of USC football colors. So I really like that.
Definitely does.
Gold and cardinal. Partial.
Yeah, definitely. I love the sort of surroundings and setting you put on that picture as well. So many nice light beams coming through.
I'm trying to keep up with your beautiful outside photography.
It's going to be hard to do outdoor photography all year here. Like, it's raining now, and I wanted to go out and do pictures, but never mind.
Oh, that's a perfect time for a croc pick, a Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, true.
You're brave enough to get sopping wet and feel miserable.
You need to do that one time. But while we're talking to BTS, you've been doing some really fantastic episodic pictures. I love that you've been splitting the two-parters as well. I've really enjoyed that, especially the Two-Face one where you've got the extreme close-ups of Harvey Dent. That was just amazing. But I've got to say, my favourite picture you've actually done this week is the It's Never Too Late one.
Never Too Late.
So you got the Batman.
That okay.
Shot. That's a fantastic picture. Love that Batman, and that's actually the Batman they're going to use for the new wave as well, with Harley Quinn and Robin and Joker. That's the actual figure they're going to use, but put shading on it with the same cape. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank goodness. I saw the pictures you posted, and thank goodness they are going to do the updated articulation Batman. But
yeah,
I mean, seeing the new paint job on the Harley Quinn, it didn't look like they really did much of anything.
No, not a lot at all. Bit different on the face, few shadings.
Looks like they took some. They definitely took some notes from Zulu.
Yeah. I think they've literally just done it because they know people buy it, and that's it.
Oh, they know, especially because they got the Harley Quinn animated series coming out on the DC universe, and I'm sure that there won't be a loss for people that want to get that figure, especially Birds of Prey coming out. Suicide Squad 2, so there's going to be a lot of Harley Quinn media. It's not slowing down.
Definitely is, yeah.
But, and again, where did she originate? Batman animated series.
Yeah, or where it began with BTS. Always is, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the one thing I'm finding fun about this one, and I'm glad that you like the two-part one because I'm really trying to draw this out and make sure I do each episode. It's fun trying to do parts that I haven't done yet. So and also parts that I feel like only people that continue to watch the show or people that are hyper super fans would know. And so that's why I did things like for Be a Clown. I wanted to do the Zoltar thing where it gives the fortune and I've got Batman in my basement. I just tried to make it look a little different. The Heart of Ice, I tried to do that scene because I've done the scenes where like Batman's frozen upside down. I've done the scenes with his wife, so it's like, okay, I want to do a different scene. So that's been fun trying to figure out which little scene I want to do.
Well, the three that I recognised straight away was It's Never Too Late, Heart of Ice, and then I got to say The Forgotten as well. The Forgotten one was fantastic. I really like that. I love the little details you put on Bruce Wayne with the white hair.
Oh yeah, that was. I'm glad that you noticed that because even in the dream at that scene, he still has the white hair. So I was like, okay, I got to do it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Really, really love that.
And I happened to also get a good lens flare, and I had the perfect mirrors that I found. So I was like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Really, really like that shot.
Point of view. I wanted to do it just like a certain shot. I knew right away that it wasn't going to get a big response just because point of view is not a popular episode and it's a far away shot where I'm not showing anybody.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to make sure it looks just like how the episode looked, and that's exactly
it does
to me.
Yeah. So did you Photoshop a Montoya into that as well?
Yeah, I had to duplicate fantastic. her to get a Wilkes.
Fantastic.
A Wilkes stand-in. I couldn't use the clue for everything or the question for everything.
Oh, it's a fantastic picture that is. I mean, even that, people that understand the series, that is instantly going to be recognisable to them as well. It's absolutely epic shot.
So I'm trying to go out on a nice ending. If this is the end,
well, you definitely are. I hope it isn't the end, but then also I kind of hope it does because this has been epic so far. So it's kind of two parts. It's very bittersweet, as they say.
We'll see. But other than that, I've just been enjoying doing different shots. Still trying to do pictures of figures that I don't take too many shots of.
Well, notice that because you did a couple of Bane pictures.
Yeah, I feel like he gets the short end of the stick a lot of time.
He does, yeah.
Especially because there's Mafex Bane. I feel like it's one of the. I have a few Mafex, and I feel like of all the Mafex that I have, he's one of the more well done versions. Like even the fur on his jacket, the way light hits it, actually does look like the fur. So I'm like, oh, it's an impressive figure.
Yeah, it really is fantastic. And the Soap Studio Dark Knight villains that you've put together there, that was a fantastic picture as well. So many cool things that are going to be coming from them. With
that's another thing. That's one of the reasons I wanted to post it because they just announced that they're finally, after teasing for a long time and showing different versions, they're finally going to release the Batman from their line after releasing a lot of the villains first and a Bruce Wayne. So I'm looking forward to seeing what their version of Batman looks like. And not only that, but it's we've seen that companies that have done soft goods like Mezco, they always tend to not only knock the Batman figures out of the park, but that tends to be the figures that go up the most scalp wise and that people tend to be gaga over. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to approach this, what their figure's going to look like.
Yeah, I like that they've taken their time for it. I think that's actually been a good thing in this case. Yeah, and they don't usually take the piss with pre-orders either, which is good. Which we all know Mezco do. But yes, it's been very cool. Some fantastic pictures that you've done this week.
Hopefully that's coming soon, and I'm hoping that will help fix the drought that we're experiencing.
Oh, brilliant! I certainly have enjoyed it this week. There's been so many different pictures that you've done that, like I say, you wouldn't usually take photographs of certain figures, so really enjoyed that.
I'm gonna keep trying so I could justify their purchases. But other than that, just the same old same. I mean, other than Soap Studios and just some news on, the Batman animated series figures and the Turtles.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a decent amount, but nothing too soon and nothing that we don't really know anything about. We do have in a few weeks, or actually we have in a week's time exactly for some people that they're going to be seeing the Joker movie.
Yes.
You already got
apparently the
tickets?
world's going to end as well, you know.
Oh yeah. What have you seen or heard about how people are reacting to this?
The reaction's been frankly hysterical and pretty ridiculous as well, to be honest. So everyone's been saying, "Oh, you know, we'll run around waving our arms in the air, and everybody's going to die." It's not going to happen. You very astutely pointed out that there's been how many now? 4, is it, John Wick movies? And
3, but they're making 4.
3. They're making it right. So no one's gone out on mass shooting sprees pretending to be John Wick. So I don't think we're going to get the same thing with the Joker. And it's
And
just ridiculous.
Not only that about the John Wick thing, but the same critics that praised John Wick and like, oh, the choreography is so innovative and it's brilliant, and it's just him shooting guns in a bunch of different angles and ways. And I'm sure that the body count in just one John Wick movie is going to be more than we see in the entirety of the Joker movie. But those critics, oh, this is just going to inspire. This is bad. This is going to inspire people to go out and kill.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's just stupid. It really is. Saying that, I put in my story like cowards and idiots go around shooting people, not fans of movies. Like, what are people talking about? I honestly don't. I will never understand, and nothing will convince me that anyone who thinks that that's going to inspire violence and everything, you are a blithering idiot.
Well, what's funny and ironic too is I was just watching a Chris Rock stand up where he says, like with people who shoot up things and these things people are watching, or the news, and the news explains like, oh, they were listening to this and they were watching these movies. Like, okay, a lot of us are like, whatever happened to the person's just crazy or they went crazy. Like, that's still a valid thing. Like, there's some people are just crazy and they're gonna do it. It doesn't matter what they watch, what they do. And for 98% of the rest of us, we're not going to do anything.
I know, it's ridiculous. Honestly, I'll never understand what people are talking about when they're all about this kind of stuff. Utterly baffling.
I realize that I'm watching a movie. It's not real life.
Ridiculous. It honestly is embarrassing, man. And it's going to be one of the greatest movies that DC has ever made. And people are trying to do everything to stop it. Rotten Tomatoes are giving it a bit more than average reviews, really. They haven't said it's anything special. And then you get, people running around crying about the fact that it's going to inspire violence. No, it just isn't. It's just ridiculous.
I'm sure Disney doesn't hate any of that. I'm sure they love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it might not even be a bad thing for DC, to be honest, because it'll get people talking about it and people will want to see it. So, I guess you could look. I
got my tickets. You have yours?
Not yet. Soon, though. Very soon. Can't wait to go and see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an event. And the last time I saw something this magnificent, it was seeing The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Back then, I was wondering if I would ever see anything that would get that close. And then when we saw Jared Leto, it's like, okay, maybe I won't ever see a performance like that again.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are going nuts for it, and that no pun intended, and that people are saying that it's magnificent, I'm really hoping that we get something on that level to where I'm in a movie theater and I'm just watching like magic.
Yeah.
I hope that I get that feeling again.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I think it's hard to know with DC what it's going to be like, but I think it's very safe to say this is going to be pretty special.
I think I might like it a little bit more than the next Birds of Prey, but that's just me. It's my speculation.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd agree with you on that. Birds of Prey is going to have to seriously turn around a few critics to get anywhere near to it. Near to it being a success from the looks of first things, but. While we're on about DC media,
yes,
something enormous that I wanted to talk about this week is a teaser from Warner Brothers Games that we got. So we got. I still struggling to properly believe it's going to happen, but we saw teasers for what is called Capture the Night, Now, you know, one would assume it's going to be a Court of Owls movie. Court of Owls game, and if it is, that's going to be amazing. So they showed off some symbols. I think one of them is a Wayne symbol. I think I might not be correct on that, but I know the other three symbols, which is the Court of Owls symbol. We've got the Demon's Head symbol, and then the Order of Saint Dumont, which is the Azrael.
Azrael.
Yeah, it's the Azrael thing, and that's amazing. That really is. I think they've got some really cool ideas there.
I wonder if it's going to be a prequel or if it's going to take place after the fact.
If I was to guess, I'd probably say a prequel to Origins, and then they may even try and make their own franchise of games out of it. But if I was to hope, I'd probably hope it was maybe after Arkham Knight. It all depends. They've got to get several things correct before they even think about putting a game into production. So they've either got to get Roger Craig Smith or Kevin Conroy to voice Batman. Now, the reason for that is Conroy is obviously the iconic Batman we all know. We don't need to put an argument forward for him, but Roger Craig Smith was the voice in Origins. So if they're going to carry on with that, I don't think I'd be too bothered if he did, because he did a great job in Origins. He really did. And I'm a Conroy fan all the way, and we will always back him to voice Batman in any media. So
there would be times when I was playing Origin where I would be questioning myself, like, wait, am I sure that I read that Kevin Conroy and Hamill aren't doing these voices? And then I have to look back, be like, no, it says it's not them, because I could have swore it sounded like Kevin Conroy sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's fantastic, and they, you know, there's no Joker going to be involved in this, so that would obviously, or supposedly, you know, we don't know, that wasn't meant to be in Origins, but you know,
you never know.
I think it could be after. It says it could be after Arkham Knight, but I think Warner Brother Games would probably rather leave Rocksteady to deal with the sort of aftermath of Arkham Knight, rather than sort of going in on their patch and trying to like reconnect people with that story. I think they'd rather kind of do their own thing after Origins, and there is a gap. I think there's a sort of 5 to 10 year gap between Origins and Asylum, so we've got time in there to fit an epic story in and show something different, which I think would be fantastic, and I hope they do.
I think that would make most sense too, because there'd be no way that Batman would be operating this whole time without knowing. I mean, that would make him look like a poor detective if he was operating all those years without knowing a secret society.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would make sense that he would take care of it early on.
It greatly excites me, this idea. I think it's going to be really cool, and I hope we get to see it. I think we will, to be honest, but who knows? It's again the DC thing. We never know with DC what they're going to do. But,
and especially if they show a lot of, like what you said, where it shows a lot of those secret societies where a lot of it has to do with Batman's early beginnings, where he's training as a ninja with Ra's al Ghul, and also like training as a ninja in different places, like from episode 9 of the Ninja, which I think we're covering today.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
And so that would actually be cool to see that kind of stuff, and hopefully, well, I'm sure they wouldn't do it unless there was a brilliant story and a way to tie it all in. So
yeah, I love the name as well. Capture the Night. It's just a fantastic name. Really puts sort of question marks around straight away, which really, really love. So yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic one, and can't wait to see how they develop it.
I'm sure it will be more detective-like.
Definitely will. I love the Saint Dumont thing in there as well, the Azrael idea, so we could get to see where he originates from and what's going on with that, and that's going to be fascinating. But then equally, Azrael didn't appear till Arkham City, and that was the first time that Bruce had encountered him. So how could he appear before that? So who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, true. See, you're more of the expert in that area.
Just played the games about 1,000 times, that's all.
Yeah. I have only played them at least twice or 3 times. That was years ago.
Really excited. It makes me want to play the games again, but too busy rewatching Justice League.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are, because that means we'll be getting some more shots. And you already had done one.
Yeah, done. I think I've done like 3 maybe new Justice League pictures this week, something like that. So, which is not that much for me. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Before all Justice League happened, we had BTAS.
Yes. And especially a Night of the Ninja, where we get to learn a lot about Bruce Wayne's backstory and a different part of his training career. Not where it
Yeah.
might not be the earliest of Ra's al Ghul, but it's a different portion, or maybe it's before Ra's al Ghul. We don't know, but it is when he's in the part of his career where he's trying to master all the different martial arts.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
also, well, what are your first thoughts on it after watching?
To be honest, what I love about this episode is they give sort of a new character a real cool depth of story, and that obviously, as we will explain as the episode unravels, they really make Kyodai Ken a formidable enemy, and sort of he's not just some random ninja who's coming back for revenge. They actually give a good backstory and a good solid reason as to why this guy is a really formidable force and a really good opponent to Bruce. And they use it in such a clever way as well. It's not just a boring, oh, he wronged me once and I'm going after him. Simple as that, you know. As Robin said, another criminal made possible by a grant from the Wayne Foundation. He said that later in the series. Which annoyed Bruce, but this is brilliant, and this is a real personal battle. This isn't anything to do with his company or anything like that, although his company's involved in it. It's a pure personal
Spite.
thing that happened years ago. Yeah, exactly. Spice, jealousy, all that kind of thing.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because in the 90s, ninjas were big. If you guys remember, there was Power Rangers, there was a Little Ninjas movie, there was tons of martial arts movies. That's the time where like Chuck Norris was big, Van Damme. You also had Mortal Kombat. So ninjas in general were big in the 90s, and they even like the biggest, most popular GI Joe toy was Snake Eyes, who was just a ninja in all black. So, like you said, Scott, it could be very easy to have just a generic ninja villain. Oh, he wronged me once. One off.
Yeah, exactly.
The way they weaved a story and weaved it through backstories in and out of what's currently going on, and also he's not just a one-off villain. There's another episode we get of him, so
yeah,
it's actually they just another showing that the BTAS crew knew what they were doing. Like we even needed proof.
I know. Yeah, definitely. they absolutely nailed it, and so we look into the episode. We see the return of the title card, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
The return of the title card.
After an absence in the laughing fish.
yeah, it had a bit of a nap as that episode went on. The title card took to the side, but by no means is this a bad
I think
to that episode.
I think they just didn't want to animate another 30-second card again. Like, okay, just go back to the non-motion.
Yeah. I love the soundtrack they put on this episode as well, with this sort of more Japanese style music, and that it really is fantastic what they did with this. But
it's like a fluttering.
Yeah. So we head into the episode and we see a break-in at Wayne Cosmetics, which is obviously a division of Wayne Enterprises, and a man sort of appears in front of this door and throws some purple gas under the door. They use gas a lot in this series, don't they? There's a lot of gas going on.
No, they couldn't use guns as much, so they.
Yeah, there's a lot. Loads.
No, I noticed that as well, and I thought like maybe it's just because like they're trying to keep the villain a secret for a second. There's a lot of villains that use gas, but then I just thought like, why are so many villains use gas?
It's very true, and a ninja sort of goes into the Wayne Enterprises safes, takes what appears to be loads of money out of there. And the guards are alerted, they go after him, and the way that he sort of takes out the guard's torch is what I really love. You can just hear a sword slicing sound, then a second sort of elapses, and then the torch just collapses and all the innards fall out of it, which is just what I really like. It's a nice little scene, that
lightning quick. He's not to be missed.
Yeah, just completely wipes out the guard, and uses one of the sort of, I described it like a circular thing with pointy edges.
Oh, Ninja Star.
Yeah, Ninja Star. Yeah, chucks one of those at the gun and stabs it onto the frame of the door, which is a nice, cool evidence chain for Commissioner Gordon to look at later on. But yeah, it's a nice little opening act. It's quite mysterious. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a perfect way to introduce the ninja. Mysterious. His movement is fluid and quick.
Yeah.
And we also get a nice, like you said, with the Ninja Star. It's okay. It's a little nod to the Batarang. Is that where Bruce got?
Yeah, yeah.
But then we start to see, in the next scene, we see Bruce and Dick in a rare scene where we get to see Batman training Dick Grayson.
Great scene.
Which is always awesome. And I love that not only is it cool that Dick Grayson is a green belt, but it also happens to match his color scheme of his outfit. It's perfect. And it's funny seeing them go at it. And Bruce, you could tell that he's a domineering teacher and he's not taking anything but perfection. And Dick goes in for a move and Batman easily just gets rid of it. And he says, "Come on," and Dick is like, sorry, we can't all be perfect." And when Alfred alerts Bruce to the fact that another one of his companies has been ripped off, his head's turned and Dick starts to show a little bit of frustration at him. And I don't know about you, but I feel like this is the first time that we start to see any type of friction or rift between these two. And
you're probably right.
I do like that they added this little touch because it does start to make more sense, especially later on as we see him turn from Nightwing to Nightwing. And we also see like the stories in Old Wounds. Like this is a perfect, I think you look back at this episode and you're like, okay, maybe this is where it started to really turn because he's already starting to like talk back a little and be like, sorry, I'm not perfect. I can't be like you. And that tends to be what people are most frustrated with Bruce.
Yeah.
Is that even the Justice League he doesn't demand anything less than perfection or the most logical like reasoning for things. So I feel like it's even later in the episode. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So we where do we go from what you talked about a crime scene, right? What happens with the crime?
Yeah, so the crime scene that Commissioner Gordon's investigating, Bruce arrives. He sees the gun with the, what is it you called it?
Ninja Star.
Ninja Star. Yeah, he sees the Ninja Star and he instantly has a flashback to the days of fighting Kyoraken. And the master Yura Sensei makes Ken apologize for a mark that he had against Bruce. He was calling him a rich man's son. I love how he says that as well. So sort of patronising to him. He calls him rich man's son. And Yura Sensei's like, that's not how we do things here. You're always going to make sure you retain your honor no matter what happens. And Bruce remembers the tattoo that he had on his back as well when he was walking out from that moment. So
must have been painful.
Yeah.
Thing is all over his back, but it's pretty cool dragon.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Or scary demon. Is it a demon head?
Something like that, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I think it probably is a demon.
Yeah, that's it's a pretty scary tattoo.
Yeah, to say the least. And so we then go back to the Batcave, and Bruce wants to go out alone. He doesn't want Robin helping him, which is kind of reminiscent of Robin's Reckoning a little bit. Not so personal in this case, although it is for Bruce, but not for Dick Grayson. So this time Dick sort of lets it slide and doesn't really put up too much of a fuss with it. He's just kind of asking Alfred like, what the hell's going on here? Like, just wondering what's wrong with him now. Alfred's like, I just like to discuss his feelings.
Yeah, and I like their discussion in the Batmobile too, where he's like, "So who is he?" He's like, "He's a a ninja. And he's like, he was good. He's like, well, how
Mm.
good? And he's like, he was good. And kind of you get the impression that Batman's kind of scared of him. And so you see Robin, like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
so he kind of gets the impression something's up too. That's funny.
yeah.
And then where were you going with it? Where were you?
Okay, yeah. So we were saying about the moment
He was
Batman
asking
goes out and he has another flashback to his training with Sensei, and Sensei was saying that defeat can be more instructive than victory, which is something that Bruce can vividly remember in this flashback, which is a really cool message and a message to the viewer as well as Batman. I feel like just the way that it's delivered, that line, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, and also seeing him with a ring of candles, just trying to use his quick motion to blow him out with his kicks and hand movements.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And it just shows a whole new side to Bruce, a whole new fighting technique that we haven't really seen that much of at all in this series.
It's definitely cool seeing stuff like that. And then where do we go from there?
Okay, so we're now going back to Wayne Enterprises, where and then the ninja reappears. But this time Batman's ready and anticipating his next move. But unfortunately, what Batman doesn't prepare for is that he gets gassed again.
Cheating. The guy's cheating.
As is often the way, yeah. As is often the way. So he gets gassed, and but then Robin, who is tracking Batman, he appears and manages to sort of thwart the ninja. This time, as the ninja escapes.
Gives Batman kind of a backhanded compliment, right?
He does, yeah.
When you're talking about Batman.
Yeah.
He's like, no one does it, my friend. You can be a jerk sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey,
so you got
thanks, Robin.
Love him. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And as the ninja escapes, Batman recognizes the distinctive tattoo on his back. And that's when we instantly know that he's definitely the Kyoto Ken figure that we see in the flashbacks.
Yes, and then we also hear that Batman he just wants to move on, and Robin's again showing a little frustration, like, thanks for saving my bacon, Robin.
Yeah.
Like mocking him. He's just so Robin's getting quite bold in this episode.
Yeah, he's getting noise.
And then someone that we haven't mentioned yet, but Summer Gleason, she's in this episode.
Yeah, she's quite a prominent character in this.
Yeah, she pops up quite a lot throughout Batman the Animated Series, but usually it's only on little news reports. We get narrative story stuff, so it's nice to see that she does get a little light shined on her more in this, or a little bit more to do.
Yeah, she's a cool character, Summer Gleason. Actually, it was funny. I was watching, this is a slight tangent, but the Justice League episode, The Enemy Below, yesterday, and there's a bit where Aquaman's being brought out on a stretcher and Snapper Carr's reporting, and you can see Summer Gleason there reporting on the news as well in the background, which is quite a nice touch.
Oh.
That they put in that, yeah. But yes, anyway, back to this episode.
That's
as you
awesome.
Say. Yeah, well, nice details.
Throughout, we've seen Summer Gleason. She's taken an interest in the story because it's not every day that there's a story about a ninja in Gotham. It's a little different than a 6'2" bat. So she's very interested in that, and also interested in why he's trying to go after Wayne. She's going after the approach of what's Wayne got, what's he hiding, and so she's been kind of a nuisance following Bruce Wayne around.
Say that again, Tyler. Sorry, you broke up then.
Oh, I broke up? Okay. Well, I said that's just another story thread that's going on throughout this. So we get a cutaway to her where she is asking some questions, and she sees that there's going to be a Wayne charity, and she decided that she's going to go there.
Yes,
but meanwhile, we are back at Wayne Manor, and we see that Alfred is doing his butler duties, or he's washing dishes, and he's talking with dick, but he's kind of being one because he's not really helping doing the dishes. He's just talking. And then, so they're talking about Bruce, and Robin wants to know if Alfred was there with him in Japan. He's like, oh, yeah, I love the tea. It's a great time. And then ask if he knows about...
stereotypical.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure they have great tea. But Alfred's talking about, yeah, he knows Kyoto-ken, and that he was one of the only students, or the only student that consistently on a regular basis was able to just beat Bruce to a pulp. And Dick, right there, I guess he comes to the complete realization that, Bruce isn't trying to keep anything from Robin, especially in the way like Tony Zuko. He's just trying to, he's more afraid than anything that he's going to get whooped up. And if he gets whooped up, who's going to protect Robin? And he also probably doesn't want Robin to see him get whooped up. And
yeah.
While they're talking about this, and Alfred's like, oh, Master Bruce, always afraid, like he doesn't want to talk about his fears. And they look up and they see that Bruce is standing in the doorway with a very stoic look on his face. And he stands there for a few seconds, letting them soak in the fact that he's been there. And he lets them know that he's off to the charity event. And they are left to feel awkward and hope that he didn't hear everything.
Although I said, "Do you think he heard?" He's like, "Who can tell?"
Yeah, who can tell? I'm pretty sure he heard. He's Batman. So I'm pretty sure
he definitely heard.
And, kudos to him for not, just ripping them apart right there. But I'm sure they felt bad enough.
Yeah, definitely. Love that scene. But so Bruce then announces that he's going to be going to the museum tonight. Again, another sort of gala that isn't going on in Gotham.
Another event, charity.
They do a lot of charity work in there. Perhaps another subtle message to viewers, but Bruce is looking at an old sword, old Japanese art sword, and that's when we see another cool flashback to when Kyoto-ken tried to steal an ancient sword back in Japan that was over 500 years old, and Bruce catches him. It's a good thing I was staying late to practice tonight. And then Ken sort of, gives a remark about, rich man's son, you can't stop me. Defeating you will make it even more satisfying and all that rubbish. And before they could actually get into the fight, Yura-sensei catches them and banishes Kyoto-ken from the sort of settlement in Japan forever. He banishes it from there, and it's when Kyoto-ken swears revenge on Bruce Wayne, and and
everything's starting to make sense.
Yeah, that's where the seed was planted for revenge.
Yes, but not generic one-off of revenge. Actually, good storytelling. But after that, we see that Bruce is dragged back into reality to this prison state, and we see he's decided that he's going to leave, and we see that he's followed out by the reporter Summer, and she just gets in the car and insists that it's her job to ask him these questions, and she explains that she did some research and she knows that he was in Japan, and that she wants to know if his time in Japan has anything to do with these robberies. And before he could say anything, we see the person that's the valet, or disguised as the valet, and it is Kyoto-ken saying, like, have a safe trip, or something to that effect. And we're all shocked, wondering what's going to happen now. I'm pretty sure a commercial break happened on the Saturday morning, if you were watching.
Yeah, I think that probably would, wouldn't it? That's a good point.
And then we get taken to probably the most frustrating part of any, especially young boy watching back in the day. The two awaken, and because we see that they're drugged again, they're gassed probably, and we see that Summer and Bruce are taken hostage to a warehouse. There's a lot of boxes, and Kyoto-ken is just talking to him, talks about his whole plan, as villains do. They tend to do.
They look to map out an idea.
And he just wants to mock and gloat. So he's talking about targeting Bruce and all his businesses, stealing bank codes, transferring money to his accounts, robbing him, and trying all of the classic revenge stuff. And basically for banishing him from the dojo, and that he does say that he's going to kill him. But we also see that Robin, he's tracked his buddy again, trying to figure out what's happening, and also knowing that he probably is going to need help on this if this guy back in the day. And we see him park his luxurious bat cycle, which we saw was just released, and he goes into the warehouse where we see the whole scene that we've been seeing, where we see the two, hostages and Kyoto Ken, and we see that Bruce has to get up and fight because Kyoto Ken's just saying he's weak, he's rich, he's soft, he's never gonna be like him, so he can never be a ninja. And Bruce, because I guess this is the most frustrating part for me, because Summer Gleason's there and he doesn't want to give any hints that he might be Batman. He just takes absolute butt whooping from Kyoto Ken. What do you think about all this?
I think I like the way that they developed that sort of ending. I think that's quite clever. Sorry, say that again. You broke up.
Bruce Wayne just, get beat to crap.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I guess it's also quite clever in a way.
It is clever.
They do it.
My little mind couldn't handle it back then.
Yeah, very strange seeing Bruce Wayne get beaten up by a ninja.
Yeah, and it's only after rolling a carpet over Summer Robin that Bruce is able to fully go into warrior mode, and he even strikes a pose, and he starts to use all his martial arts to just wipe the floor with Kyoto Ken until we see what kind of person Kyoto Ken really is when he decides to break open a window and just run and jump away.
Yeah, Kyoto Ken in the end is a coward.
Definitely. But it does leave it open so that he can return, which eventually he does.
Yeah, indeed. And in the end, I love the scene when they're back at Wayne Manor and Bruce thanks Robin for his help, and it's quite a nice scene. Quite a nice scene in the end.
Which, because it's not many times in his life that he said thank you, let alone probably Robin.
I know, yeah, it is genuinely very rare that we ever get to see that at all, so it's quite nice.
I think one of the only times else we see him actually thank a few people is Justice League when he's about to die, when he's about to fly the tower into a base.
Yeah.
That's the only other time.
Yeah, it's like, I love that scene there. That's an amazing scene. A gentleman to put it on.
Yes. So after rewatching this and after seeing it from an adult lens, what would you rate this episode?
I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10. I actually quite like this one. It's not got that same sort of drag of some of the other characters. Like even episodes like POV sometimes can drag where they've not got a sort of main villain. But this episode I actually really enjoy. It's a good mysterious episode. So yeah, definitely a solid 7.5 out of 10. What do you rate it?
And it's only because I enjoy everything about it. I enjoy the way they weave the story with the flashbacks. I think that takes skill, especially in animation. And I also like the fact that you start to see hints of a longer arcing story where you start to see Robin is starting to be disgruntled and not as happy being Batman's partner. And I think that part can get overlooked in just the excitement of the other stuff, seeing Batman train. But I do like that they add those little breadcrumbs in there. The only thing I think they could have been more clever with it is I don't like the part where he gets whooped up to a pulp. The part where he has a black eye and stuff just because he's in front of Summer Gleason. I do think we've seen before where he's like in the Dark Knight, he's able to use pressure points and stuff. And I think he could have feigned like he was getting whooped up, but also landed a few like pressure points to lessen the the fact that he was getting looked up. Some of that they could have showed that he has knowledge in other areas. I think that could have been something they could have shown. But who am I to tell them anything? They are the ones that made a brilliant show, not me. And who would want to animate that too? I mean, you have to think about the animators and all that in time. So I just, as a little kid, that bugged me, but no, it shouldn't.
No, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
But it's a solid episode, and it not only introduces a new villain, it also ties together some long arcing story stuff with Batman's beginnings. I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan took inspiration from, and I also like the Robin stuff. So solid episode, and we have a solid episode coming up next as well, right?
We do, yes. The next episode sees the reintroduction of Catwoman with cat scratch fever.
Also, the reintroduction of Roland Daggett.
Ugh, the slime ball that is Roland Daggett.
Yeah, it's always one of the top favorites. He's not even a mob boss. He's just like a slimy businessman.
Yeah, he is. And after Cat Scratch Fever is okay. It's not one of my favorites, but then the sort of next 5 or 6 episodes are absolute movies. So I can't wait for that.
Those will be ones that I look forward to.
Yeah, very excited to see those ones. But yes, Cat Scratch Fever is next. So
that one's also fitting for the time of weather that we're going into, since it's fall and all
that. That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
For all this holiday season. We do have also a pretty interesting guest coming up that we're going to interview.
We do, yes.
Have you ever watched the show The Boys?
I haven't. I'm going to be honest. I haven't.
Do you ever plan on it?
I don't see why not. Someday, yeah.
Well, I think that it is something that definitely to be, at least the first episode, it's something to be checked out, because it's like a satire on not only heroes, but also hero worship and the way that some people act about heroes. And I think it's
Say that again, sorry, Tyler. You're breaking up badly.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're back.
You know what it is? It's because I use the Wi-Fi. I should have used my data. I'm getting my connection's probably cutting bad. But yeah, well, The Boys, it's a fun show. It shows maybe what heroes might really be like. They might not be the 100% heroes that we want. Superman might not have a heart of gold. So it's interesting to see different takes on it, and made. But it kind of makes fun of that stuff. And I think there's only one person to make the figures for them, the action figures. And on Instagram, he is called the Dark McKnight _creations. His name is James McKnight, and he was the one that created all the custom action figures for the show. He made the 7, each one of them, even the one that dies at the beginning, spoiler alert, Lamplighter. So there's a lot of questions I have for him. And he kind of, when we asked him to come on, he kind of told us a little bit about himself, and he said that he's been making custom action figures now for 20 years. So wow. There's a lot of questions we have for him, and a lot we want to ask him about what he's seen, especially the current state of customs and with the Instagram with all the new profiles being out there, and I see new customizers. I feel like every day, so it'll be interesting to hear what it takes, how like all his all his inventions and all the stuff that he's done, and how long it took to get to a level where he's at now. And I feel like that would be a lot of fun. I mean, it's not every day your figure that you created gets put on a TV show, so that should be interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So
definitely looking forward to speaking to him about that.
We have that to look forward to. For you guys, just a matter of seconds. For us, we're actually recording it all in one day, so that'll be cool.
Yes, good fun for a change. Or getting it nice and sort of wrapped up on one day. It's going to be good fun.
Yeah, just knocking it all out. So we hope you guys enjoy the other side of this. He also comes from Canada, so keeping it international. So not too international for me, but for everyone else on the other side, pretty international. So we will talk to you in a matter of seconds.